If any of you want to step out and have his or her picture taken, you can. We won't let you here in just 2 minutes.
Will you step out or?
Elena,
Take a picture.
And the revolutionaries, they mistook these statues out the front here for kings of France. They're actually kings of Judaism, but that didn't matter, they were kings, they hated them anyway. So they chopped off all the heads of these statues here, they piled them in a big pile outside the front of the cathedral, and this became a public square. Now the square was a lot smaller back then. In medieval Paris, the square only came 20 meters from the front door. So you can imagine it wasn't really a nice atmosphere, it smelled pretty bad. People weren't coming down here for religious purposes anymore. So it wasn't really being used much. It became very run down as well. And so they actually wanted to bring it down. They wanted to bring down the Notre Dame and they wanted to use the stone to build more bridges along the Seine. This seemed like a more useful thing. This seemed like a more important thing to be doing. And we have one man, one story, and its character of Quasimodo. Now this is not Walt Disney, but Victor Hugo. So Victor Hugo wrote the story, Notre Dame de Paris, or The Hunchback of Notre Dame, as we know it in English. So you've all seen the Walt Disney version, right? You know the character Quasimodo who lives up there in the tower. So this was Victor Hugo's story, where he told the story of Quasimodo, the kind of ugly character that lived up there in the towers of the Notre Dame. Now he used the character of Quasimodo as like a representation of the cathedral, saying even though he was kind of ugly on the outside, he meant well on the inside. So that's what they were trying to put forth about the cathedral as well, saying even though it kind of got a little bit ugly on the outside, the reason that it was there was for a good reason. It was there for a good purpose. So everybody in Paris, people all over France were reading the story. And so they were starting to fall back in love with the cathedral again. They realized that it was there for a good thing and it was there for a good reason. They wanted to keep it there. And so we had some more political changes here in France as well, and religion sort of had a little bit more importance in society. So you'll see after this time that it got one of its biggest facelifts after the time of Victor Hugo. Now Victor Hugo was a hugely inspirational and influential character here in France. So you may know some of his other works. Les Miserables is probably his most famous, the play. But he wasn't just famous for his writing, but he was actually involved a lot in politics as well. So those ideas, those themes that you can see in his works, in his writing, these were also things that he was putting through in the political world as well. So things about slavery, the poor, improving conditions in the city for those types of people. He was so loved by the people here, he was so influential that over 1 million people turned up for his funeral here in Paris. 40,000 people waited up overnight so that they could be in the front row. That's how much they really respected him here in France. Now, as I said, it's free to go inside the cathedral. If you go inside there, look up, don't forget to look at those beautiful stained glass windows. They also have a bit of an exhibition around there at the back. Hopefully it's still there, where it shows you how the Notre Dame has changed over time. So they've added things to it, they've made it higher, the statues and things, obviously these aren't the original statues on the front because they were destroyed during the Revolution. So that's also interesting to look at as well. They've got a little model on how they were constructing it as well. You can also see some people walking around up the top there. So you can go right up there, it's one of the viewpoints.
So these are the focal points of where the weight is redistributed in the building, and the reason behind that was to put these stained glass windows in and open up the building more. But as some of you have said, it